So yes, there we have part 2. For those who don't know, please go and watch the first part of this video. I'm talking about the history of tattoo in Africa. So I was saying that you have scarification. Scarification actually they use I mean, I don't want to say so scarification is made using a sharp, very sharp instrument to cut deep into the skin. So cutting really deep into the skin. By cutting deep into the skin, the skin, it made you will leave a permanent marking once the skin is scarred, when the skin is healed. So it will leave a deep marking into the skin. And what I realized is that the two main type of scarification, there's one that really skin deep. So one is healed, you have the deep into the skin. It's deep into the skin, a bit like if you cut yourself and a deep enough, but you didn't have like stitches. One is healed, it's kind of like deep into the skin. So it's like that. There's some that are like that, and some others are more like a 3D, that appear in the surface of the skin, like like a layer on top of the skin, like a 3D, yes. And for the scarification, I know that when we were little, a few times somebody will come in the house and there's people, that's why how people used to keep healthy back then, where you would drink some some node things just to make you strong, to make you healthy, and also they will give you like few scarification there on the side of the head and at the back of the neck for protection. This is mainly for protection. So those are the scarification. Now, because I also read a lot of things that don't make any sense, so that's why it's a bit. I have to say, I have to really like give my respect to everyone who is working and reestablishing African history, and I'm talking mainly about black creator, I don't know if I can call them like that, who are making videos about those things, because I just can't imagine how frustrating it can be, because whenever you find something about Africa, whatever something positive, first of all, a lot of people who are writing about Africa, they will say something positive when they really cannot, when they really don't have any choice. When they have to state the obvious, like if they say the opposite, I don't know that it's not gonna fly, because everybody knows about it. So they kind of feel obligated to say something positive, but they always hand by like kind of like breaking it down by saying something negative, and it's constantly. I don't understand how they cannot give credit, full credit to Africa, to African people, to African continent, for specific thing. Every time there has to be something negative. And one that says something positive, they have to hand it by something negative. So I'm really respecting all the black people who are working in reestablishing the history of Africa, because I believe that when they do the research, it must be time where they're very, very frustrated. I don't know how to do it, because only that small research that I did about the tattoo, like when all the evidence, everything show that it originated in Africa, I mean, you have to be blind not to see that. There are still like something negative need to be said about it. So yes, I'm not gonna go all emotional. There's no need for it. So yes, in the tattoo, I was talking about tattoo. I said tattoo. My great grandmother had a tattoo. She didn't have a scarification. It was a tattoo, because for what I read, apparently tattoo were not done in sub-Saharan Africa, which is completely ridiculous, because these days you find people who have been following the custom, who have been following the culture, who have been following the tradition, are still like doing this. The very, very scarification is tattoo are completely different. You must be blind not to see it. A tattoo is a tattoo. You see it the way that is done, and I will put illustration about that to show you guys what it is. I mean, I will show that to you. The scarification in the tattoo is completely different. I talked to you about scarification before. I will put video image about it. And now that I'm talking about the tattoo, you will also see about it. So the tattoo is just like tattoo, like today, most people will be more familiar with like Islander, like Pacific Islander in their tattoo. And the procedure that are using to do tattoo is exactly the same procedure that is still used in Africa today to do tattoo, which is normal because it all started in Africa. So as tattoo is mainly used, normally the ink. So that you use a bone that they will shape the bone like to look a bit like a needle, or a piece of wood. Have different wood that are very, very hard and very, very resistant. So they will shape it properly to look like the ink, and they will be dipping it in the ink. The ink is made with some natural how to say that? Some natural, it can be a stone, like they will grate the stone and they will mix it or something like that, mix it with another thing to have the, I didn't find specifically exactly what they're using, but it's something like that, So it's something like that they will find the specific stone, different color, dark one, or they will burn something to get that black color that they will be, once they put it in the skin, it will stay. So they will be dipping the object in the ink, and they will be using it, hand banging, they will be banging with the hand, whatever they want. Most people have it in their face and all those things. Like I said, my grandmother had it on the foot. She also have a little one somewhere on the face. I'm not so sure anymore, but I know there was somewhere on the face. She had tattoo somewhere on her face. It was long time ago. Like I said, she died, I was like 8 years old. But I remember it was somewhere in the face, mostly on the feet. The feet one, I don't know why. I was more fascinated by them, but she also have some on the face. So they use the same, they use like that banging with the hand, and they continuously dipping it in the ink and continue. So that one go on the skin also, like a needle, but not as deep and not as how to say that, as open or cut deep like the scarification. Scarification is really cut deep. Like, I mean, you can see like it's very cut deep. But the tattoo is exactly like what I'm doing today, but just that I'm using like a natural thing like wood or animal bone. So that's how they used to do tattoo. So what is the meaning? Meaning, like tattoo in Africa, or even these days, those who are done, those are people who are like still doing for the custom and all that. Got nothing to do with aesthetic or beauty. It mainly means something. It's an information. It can be a sign of accomplishment. Somebody that's what they used to do before. Let's say a warrior who went to war, fought, won some battle. When he comes back, he will get tattoo. And those tattoo, anyone who will see him will know that he went to war and that he won the war, that he was made like whatever, like he won the war. So that will be like accomplishment. You have tattoo that show you how to say that, your alliance, not alliance, that show your affiliation to a specific group. This is something that's very, very prominent in Africa and Venice these days. Me personally, her affiliation is not just with a family member and those who are sharing the same bloodline. It go further, for example, they will tell you there's a wide group that live different places in Cameroon, for example, where I'm from. And because I don't know how to explain that to you. I will make a video about it. It's better, because if I go too much into it, then this one gonna be. So yes, it show your affiliation to a specific group. So anyone who will see you, even if you travel, you go further away. Let's say that you're living here, you go to Birmingham. People will know which group you're affiliated to. You might even find member of the similar group there that will take you in like as your their people. You also have you have also the tattoo that shows the social status. So it will be like, let's say, son of the king or daughter of the king, or son of the chief or the chief himself, or from the royal family. They will have that. This is the same thing that you will see there, those tattoos. You will know that the person is so. The person is the son of the king. The person is son of the chief or daughter of the chief. The person is let's say the hunter. The best hunter in that's how it was. Also, some of them the protection. That's the one I told you that we had it. Me and my brothers and my sister, we had them on the side of the thumb and in the back of the head. Those are to protect against evil spirit. You also have some that cure disease. And those one are like, let's say somebody is very, very sick, and as they're getting healed, like they go to the healer and they're getting healed. In the process of healing them, they're also getting tattoo at the same time that they're healing them, doing the cantation and all those things. They're getting the tattoo at the same time. Those are the tattoo that are part of the healing process. So those are the main things. I'm not gonna go too much over the place. I'm gonna try to like I said earlier, like I said, there's always people who are trying to discredit everything that got to do with Africa. I want to see, and the thing is that you can try as much as you want to discredit Africa. Discrediting Africa, that you're white, yellow, blue, black, you're discrediting yourself, because you won't be there if there was no Africa. So whenever you're trying to discredit everything that got to do with Africa, everything that comes to Africa, you're doing it to yourself. I don't care what color you are, but just know that you're doing it to yourself. You're not even doing that to Africa. Because what is there is there. What is the truth is the truth. No one can erase the truth. They've tried to erase the truth. They try to hide the truth. They try to travesty the truth, but the truth always ends up coming out. That's something that you cannot hide. So that's what it is. So I was saying that, yeah, some people always try to discredit. So I laugh very hard when I was reading it. One person who wrote an article about it, who is saying that the problem with scarification is infection. Like, seriously, I don't know, like, why are you seeing us as African? Like, seriously, when things were done, even 40 years ago, 50 years ago, things were done properly. People don't just do things anyhow. It's not just anyone who will come and do scarification on somebody. No. It's not just anyone who will come and do tattoo to anyone. No. Something that they are doing here in the modern era, like today, people will go to a school to learn how to tattoo. No, that was not. People didn't go to school. Somebody who is there, who is designated as to tattoo people. You go through like some type of initiation is something. You don't do things like that. You can't just get up and start tattooing people. No, because all this was very spiritual, very deep, like deep, like it's something that has been passed from generation to generation. So people didn't take it lightly, and today people who are still practicing it, they don't take it lightly. The specific person who are chosen to do those type of things, and what they're doing, they know exactly what they're doing. And I never see, even when it was done on us, even for the research that I did, even for the people are talking to, it can never get infected, because there's treatment, there's things that they use, that they put, there's no way it will get infected. There's no way. I can say you that. So when you're talking about it, and the first thing you put in like 2 pages to talk about the infection is very ridiculous. You have no proof, no nothing. It's ridiculous, because there's so much more infection here. Yet you say that you have everything. You have a technology and everything. But people who are getting tattoo today, a lot of people are getting infection. A lot of people are getting, like me, the tattoo turned into a nightmare. Yet you have all the knowledge, all the medicine, all those things, but it still happen. But like I said, those people, it's not just anyone who feel like, I want to start tattooing people who are going to start tattooing. It doesn't happen like that. Like I said, remember I said tattoo in Africa back then, and for those who are still doing today, following custom, got nothing to do with fashion. It got nothing to do with aesthetic. It's not to look good, or because, no, it's way beyond that. So yes, so that's why I read that. It made me laugh. For all those who like to associate everything that got to do with Africa, when we say Egypt, with Arab, Just remember, go and learn your history. Remember the Arab arrived in Africa between the 7th and the 11th century. So what I'm talking to you about, the things that happened 5,000, 10,000, 12,000. And this is what people can find. This is what people can record like accurately. Everything else, like a lot of evidence has been lost or destroyed or whatever. This is what was recorded accurately. 12,000 years before the modern era. So it got like Arab was nowhere near Africa. I don't even know if they existed even back then. So just that you know that I don't know what some people feel about, how some people have to feel the way they feel about Africa and African. I feel like we are like a threat to people. Even when you're not doing anything, you're scared. People are scared. So that's why that make people like to feel some type of a way, to create some type of things to make themselves feel comfortable. I mean, like I said, you can create as much as you want. You can try to change, modify as much as you want. But you have to remember one thing. Everything started in Africa. Which means if everything started in Africa, you won't be there if it was not because the African woman and African man. Just remember that. That's what I wanted to say. The next video I will talk about piercing in the history of Africa. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Love each other and honor the ancestors. Thank you.